I'm live. Barely. I'm back from Deathfest. A little bit congested. Just getting everything ready. I haven't been live in a while. I did it intermittently during the festival, but all right. I'm live earlier than usual. But I want to play because it's been too long. Hey, metal lover! Hey, Flay J, what's up? Hey, dope! Hello, I'm back. I'm back! It's time! Time to play the metal. Hello, metalhead. Let's play more. We're gonna play an old Japanese video game tune. One of the old classics. It'll sound like real metal. Hey, Lambo Lando. Unreal. We're playing loud. Will I play Roxette? If you have a request, super chat. Super chat for requests. Movie Lover, what's up? Carlos Bakery, what's up? Yeah, I've written a few songs in C. I also have, I have a down tuner, so I can just quickly switch to that. So it's all just kind of music to me. Can I play Olivia's song? If you super chat for it, I can figure it out. Most of the songs that people request, I don't know. But I learn them on the spot. I can look up tabs or chords. If you want Master Puppets, you gotta super chat for it. Blancas. You gotta super chat for it. Stop spamming. Stop spamming. I'm not playing it. I don't want to play Master of Puppets. Fuck that song. Stupid. I hate it. I don't like the song. It's dumb. Ask for a different song. I'm just gonna tell people I don't like Metallica anymore. I'm just gonna say no. Nope. Nope, you gotta super chat for it. You gotta send money. Don't play that song for free. Like, I don't even care if I'm lying. Like, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I don't play that song for free. I'm not gonna explain why. I'm not gonna explain why. Alright, here's a song in C. C standard. The vampire tune. Thank you. Metal! Fallen from space. Black Magic SS Kaleidoscope Dreams. Thank you for the $2 bong hit transplant. Yeah, that one's a demo of mine. All right, this one. I'm gonna read a tab for this one, okay? Or maybe. We'll see. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play a tab for this one. E standard. I see it. You know what? I'm actually gonna play this song. It seems relatively straightforward. All right. Fun. Alright, that was Black Magic SS Kaleidoscope Dreams. All right. It was a little tough to like figure out, because it's very reverberated and kind of quiet. It makes it tricky to kind of figure out what's going on there. All right. So I just got back from Deathfest, Maryland Deathfest. It was my first time. It was awesome. What a great experience that was. It's hot in North Carolina. It's very hot over here as well. Infest? I don't think so. Infest did not play this year. Where am I? Earth. There was a ton of bands, so it was a 5-day event. Pre-fest had Organ Dealer, Primitive Man, Monstrosity, Repulsion, and Napalm Death. So I walked in part of the way in Primitive Man. And that was like big, fat, and slow ambient doom. And then Monstrosity was vicious. That was like, it was like death metal. And very heavy, good Repulsion, they play all the time. Yeah, they play like pretty much every death fest I hear. And the festival was very expensive. It was like $450 just to get everything. I bought a ticket from somebody, and then like getting hotels and stuff. Like I had a room with some people. Uploaded shows last couple days, some pretty good shit. Too bad Grave had some troubles. Yeah, I mean, I heard like there was some I think maybe like a visa issue or something like that, or like a van broke down. I'm not really sure. What's the Rock Thunder Doomsday banner? I'm not really sure what you mean. Yeah, I've uploaded a few concerts. I've uploaded, yeah, I think there might have even been like a different drummer too. Grave was pretty heavy. That was some old school thrash, and like pit was rough. Like, people were throwing punches in that pit. So I was like, ooh, this is like rough. I don't like this. I was already beat up from the last couple days too. So, and like, I saw some 50-year-olds like getting in there and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna scrap. I've never seen Carcass. A lot of these bands I don't know. I've listened to Carcass demo. I actually filmed a fight breaking out, not even in the pit. It was between two guys, and I actually took that video down because the guy messaged me who started the fight, and he's like, hey man, I don't even remember how I even started that fight. I must have drank too much whiskey, and I'm just embarrassed about it. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it down. I'll take it down. Because I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? We're all here to see music. And it's very, you know what? I mean, I'm there. I wasn't filming every band. I wanted to get in and mosh with like a few bands and stuff, and like just get some clips. But like some of the bands, like, you know, Hell Butcher and like Napalm Death and Repulsion, you know, or actually not Repulsion, but you know, some of the bands I wanted to get the full sets. But you know, I was just thinking about it. I was like, you know, it's really interesting that like people are more attracted to conflict than the actual bands. You know, like they're just like, whoa, 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 what's going on there? I don't know why. It's interesting because it's all expression. They didn't actually fight. Like, people held them back, and I don't know. I've been getting messages about that, but I took it down. I took down the video because, you know, I was just thinking, you know what? The guy made a mistake. He felt bad about it. He didn't want it out there. He seemed like a cool guy. You know, we exchanged some information, and I'm kind of, you know, like too much of social media now is just like try to put people down, cancel them, things like that. And it's like, you know what? We're all here to see the show. We're all here to have fun. And like, I'm glad they didn't like fight. I mean, if I got the fight, I would have, you know, I would have kept that up. I mean, because come on, it's a scrap. It was right in front of me. It was great. It was a funny video though, like just the, you know, facial expressions and things like that. But, you know, like my beer, but at a show, I only drink water because drinking makes me sleepy and I want to pay attention to the bands. Poke up if I can sneak in, weed and water. True metal. Yeah, true metal. I guess I'll do a small recap of everything. I saw a lot of bands. I was there for 5 days. Let's see, pre-fest, I saw half of Primitive Man. Monstrosity, I saw everything. That one took me by surprise. Yeah, big shaving accident. Whoops. And then, what guitar am I playing? I'm playing a Fender Japanese Strat. Longmont Potion Castle. His calls are hilarious, but he's a phenomenal guitar player. I don't know who that is. Monstrosity was surprising because people started moshing even before the music happened. It was like, dude, the music hasn't even started. I wasn't even ready setting up my camera because I was gonna like film it. And then I got hit, and then like the magnet on my gimbal came off. So I was like, crap. And then I kind of got part of the show. Like I missed like the first song or so. But then I was up in the front kind of, and people were like crowd surfing, and I was not prepared, like, because I was facing the stage and up close, but getting hit and not really used to the technique. I learned that you should watch the security, and when they perk up and when they look, that's where you look. That way people crowd surfing behind you don't hit you. And sometimes I had to like lift people up one hand while filming. So that was insane. That was insane. I had to learn really quick. Like I've filmed some shows before, but nothing quite like Deathfest. Repulsion, I just got some clips. It was great. That was one of the bands my friend Jason told me to go just for. Like Repulsion and Napalm Death was alone worth it for the pre-fest. He was like, no. He's like, they're old school, they're classic, they're great. Napalm Death, I heard of the name. It was a fun show. Really fun. Yeah, this is a late 80s Strat. My favorite guitar. Pre-fest was kind of like the main event. So I traveled all day and I was already like beat from like the week before because like we were like recording and rehearsing really hard. And then whatchamacallit. Then the next day was like mostly doom and stoner bands. Although there was some grind. So I would go to the soundstage, Cerebral Hemorrhage. They were kind of like, it was big loud dumb music, brutal death metal. I got the funniest clip ever. Right at the front of the stage, somebody stage dove right into me. I got to make another edit and do like a Dark Souls You Died edit. They were like a dumb band. I think that's like the point. Like the singer was like totally, yeah, I think he was really drunk. Because he said tip your bartender maybe 3 times within like 2 songs. Hey, remember to tip your bartender. This next song is remember to tip your bartender. So it was silly. The soundstage was great fun. That venue is pretty nuts. I strolled over to the Nevermore Hall. It's all Black Lung. I was kind of surprised because they were like kind of psychedelic. They're kind of just hard rock. It wasn't death metal. I wouldn't really put it in that category. They played fine. It just wasn't really my thing. Lair of the Minotaur. I stuck around for Lair of the Minotaur. I started feeling moved by being there. I didn't even think Lair of the Minotaur was like all that amazing. Like they were pretty straightforward, like kind of just sludgy doom stuff. You know. It was just kind of thrashy, but it was just very basic, straightforward stuff. You know. I think it's just because I was happy to be there. We're pretty close to getting our single out. Good things are happening with the band, my band, Crimson Decree, and it's fun, you know. It's fun. So like, and it's just like, I was just kind of getting the feeling like, man, I could do this. I could do this. It's just something about being there. Imperial Triumphant, I haven't. Okay, so then I had some choices. It was Condemned or Bong Ripper. Bong Ripper was right outside the Nevermore Hall. I never heard them. I mean, I would say Lair of the Minotaur was... I sound like Dave Ellefson. I am getting over a cold. I've met Dave Ellefson. I shook his hand on Carnival Cruise Line back in 2018, 2019. Hey, thank you for the 10 joules gold coin. Yeah, Bong Ripper, I thought, okay, so personally, I don't care about stoner bands all that much. But, like, I think the names are dumb. I think, generally, but this band, Bong Ripper, incredible sound outside in the power, was it Power Plant Live? Jeez, they were loud. And like no words, no introduction, just like feedback sound. It was super slow. They might have played like 3 notes, but they were like perfectly well placed. And it was groovy. Like it was a groovy set. And like holy crap, like what an experience, you know. It's like that made them stick out, because like a lot, like I would say, you know, it's you kind of hear one, you hear a lot of them, but like that they stood out. One with the sound, and then 2 just audience communication. The guy just like wide-eyed feedback. You know. And like just it was kind of insane. It was kind of, oh really, Bong hit Transplant? You like the band's name Bong Ripper? Really? Who stood out? Metroid Girl. I was talking about Bong Ripper and how I don't really care for stoner bands. I don't really care for them, but this band had incredible sound. And really groovy. So I thought the way they did the set was cool. It was just 0 talking, only notes. Only feedback. They were like 10-minute songs or grooves, you know. So I appreciated just kind of how that went. I'm talking about Deathfest. I was there the past week. I don't know if you know me. I'm a old city comedy bit, but I do smo. Then I saw Avernus. Avernus was a gothic doom band, and kind of their interesting thing is the guitar player singer. You were there. Avernus was cool. They were gothic doom. So I'm in a goth rock band. So I kind of considered you just float around. I didn't really know many of the bands, to be honest. So this was like, I mean, I personally just, yeah. Hey, what's up, Will? Personally, I just wanted to. It's like a loot box, you know. I had some recommendations of bands I wanted to see, and then everything else was just kind of like extra. Avernus was interesting. So they only made a couple albums, and I actually got to meet Rick McCoy, who's the singer, guitarist, guitar synth guy, and Jungle Rod Jimmy, who was playing guitar for them as well. Jungle Rod Jimmy was awesome. Big, meaty guy. Yeah, man. What's up? You know, he's got super deep voice. Rick McCoy, just kind of a shorter guy, you know, very nice, kind of, oh, hey, really glad you guys could make it, you know? Bit embarrassed to talk, but I went to find more supportive metal, find more bands to listen to. Oh yeah, I hope you had a great experience, because I had a blast, and some of these bands I'm definitely like gonna check out. Yeah, they've been around forever. Used to live in Chicago. James still plays with them. He still does. I met with him at the soundstage at the end of the night, and I was like, hey, you know what? I really enjoyed that set. I'm in a goth band. You guys played Gothic Doom. And so I really just enjoyed the set. And it was fine, you know. I think Rick's voice was kind of mic'd low, unfortunately, so it was a little bit tough to hear his growling. I was listening to a bit of their recent album, Grievances, and it sounds great. Sounds great. The old album is interesting because it has a lot of like piano synth. Thank you for hanging out. BHT. Yeah, so I asked Jungle Rot, Jimmy, I was like, so you guys had a long time in between albums, like what's the reason? He's like, we're just a weird band. We never broke up. I don't know. It was just a long time. Just a long time in between. Let me see if I can find the picture. It might be on my other phone. There we go. Jungle Rod Jimmy. My face paint this time, that was taken from this was the end of the night, so cut me some slack. That one I wrote the kanji of death in water, like drowning. And basically my friend was like, hey, you should do the Great Muda's face paint. I was like, okay, I'll look up kind of his face paint style. Got a picture with Rick as well. It's very blurry and kind of wavy. Like I met him outside the Nevermore. He was super nice. He sent me a message later. He's like, hey, you're a great guitar player. I'm gonna have to send him a message and say thank you, Father Avernus. So they were very nice. They were very nice. November's Doom and Cephalotripsy, I kind of bounced between both of these. Used to hang with Jimmy and Derek. He seems like a way chill guy. I didn't talk with him much, but every time I saw him, he was always like, you know, he was always just like, yeah, man. Jimmy and Derek, Rich Limscomb, and they had Flesh Grind going. Burned down all the time. Cool dudes. Back in 1997, 2003-ish. Nice. Yeah, November's Doom, Cephalotripsy. Cephalotripsy was kind of like, I think it was grind. Slam brutal death metal. Do I know any Motley Crue? If you donate for it, I'll play it. I'll figure it out. I've played a few of the tunes. November's Doom was fine too. I only got like short clips. Our Wake was kind of interesting because it had a male-female screamers, and the chick played keys as well. They had good riffs. They were kind of experimental and melodic. It was good. It was pretty good, but I was starting to get tired, and I didn't get like great shots of the band. Solitude Eternus. These guys were from Texas. They were like an old epic doom band. A lot of these bands been around a long time. I guess Solitude has been around a while. and they very like Black Sabbath-y epic. It kind of reminded me of Crimson Glory a little bit, and Crypt Sermon, but less greasy. So the guy had a very epic voice. Yeah, you know. And they had a different guy. It was James something. I forget his name. James Anderson? I don't remember his name. Hit glasses. Good riffs. Good sound. I might have checked out Putridity for like a minute or two. Bongzilla, I checked out for a song or two. I was also just needing to rest because it was at the end of the day. I didn't stick around. I thought, this is kind of silly. Yeah. Candlemass. Oh yeah, you know what? It had a very Candlemass sound too. And then Torso Fuck. Very big, loud grind, gore grind, or something like that. Slam, brutal, death metal, gore grind. Yeah. That was day one. It was pre-fest, then day one. Friday, I got there a little late. But I heard the tail end of Witch Vomit. Witch Vomit sounded really good. I'm kind of wishing I got to check them out because they were really good. Like an amazing name. Then I walked over to the soundstage for Ord, O-R-D-H. They were okay. Prog death metal. The singer, he had amazing hair and beard. He's an old guy. And it was kind of like slow, riffy kind of stuff. And people were like I don't know, there was like a guy that was like hardcore dancing. Personally, I'm not a fan of that kind of style. I like moshing. I like pushing into people. I like getting pushed. I like that. The hardcore dance, because it was like, it was erratic. It was erratic, you know, it was sort of like not really much going on. And sometimes it's like a coin flip, whether something's gonna like happen. You know, like suddenly there's like a cartwheel. It's just like, all right. Or like a roundhouse kick. So I'm just like, all right. All right. I kind of wanted to just mosh. You know, get a clip or two and mosh a little bit. Necrofire. I didn't really catch the whole thing. Lomsk. They were Swedish death metal, I think. They had gas masks. Black metal. They were black metal. They had gas masks on. They were kind of like World War I type theme. Not like 1914, but different. They looked cool. I didn't really care. Like, it was sort of just, it was fine. It was just very like the ABCs of black metal, but with a cool costume. God Dethroned. God Dethroned, I had to film the whole set because, thank you for sending chili. God Dethroned, so the person that sold me the ticket, I said, hey, you want me to catch any show? I can film something for you. And so, he was like, I'm so upset that I'm going to miss God Dethroned and Rotting Christ. If you can get those, that'd be awesome. It's fine if not. They were good. They were good. They were very good. I hadn't really heard black and death metal. It was like an old school 35th anniversary set. I didn't have like a great picture, but it was all right. And then let's see. Then there was Left Cross, Pan American Native Front, and Diabolical Oath. I kind of just bounced around between all of these. None of them really like grabbed my attention. One of my roommates, he was very interested in the Pan American Native Front. That one was mostly like their thing. They're black metal Native Americans. You know, so that's kind of the thing about them. Left Cross, I forget. It was like death metal. I don't know. Not very much. Old school black thrash, old school Swedish stuff. Yeah. It definitely was. You know, I like riffs. I like thrash. I like that kind of sound. You know, if there's good guitar work, if you know, good mix of stuff. I bought a Repulsion shirt. I bought a Maryland Deathfest shirt. At this point, I was getting in face pain every day. One of the guys that like stopped me, he was like, "Hey man, nice Repulsion shirt," and I loved Repulsion was great because they just. I like that they just like, all right, yeah, we messed up that song, whatever. Like it's almost like they didn't care, but they're just awesome. It's just three dudes. This just sounds great. Very old school. Rotting Christ. Rotting Christ was good. Very well executed. A lot of people at that show. It was an old school set. Melodic black metal. Yeah. It's fine, you know. It's fine. Decent guitar work and cool riffs. Good sound. The singer reminds me, like, he just has this, like if you're playing, like, a strategy game, like Age of Empires, like, I feel like he would be, like, the standard, like, commander guy. We're off to battle again! You know, it was just, like, very, I don't know, he has that, like, appeal, where it's just like, yeah, we're going into battle, you know? It started raining. Wolfheart, Wayfarer, To Violently Vomit, Withering Soul. I think I saw a little bit of Wayfarer. And Old Man's Child. Okay, so this was, a lot of people were mentioning this band in particular. I never heard of them. Old school Norwegian symphonic melodic black metal. And I later learned, oh yeah, singer, he was in Dimmu Borgir. I don't know how to say it. I've always read the word, I never heard it. Dimmu Borgir. Dimmu Borgir. Dimmu Borgir. I found the perfect spot. And this video popped off. I'm gonna share this one. If you're able to click links, check out the video that I got of Old Man's Child, because it was raining. You could see it in the shot, And it looks amazing. It's just very epic. And I was a little concerned about my gimbal and like the camera, but I was like, you know what? This survived Guar. I think I'll be okay. And so, it's already at 10,000 views and like 500 people liked it. That's amazing. That's amazing that it did so well. I didn't realize this was such like a anticipated band. Like, that's so cool. And I'm glad I got to hear them because I really liked them. So it was very cool. There's a lot of great shots. I'm gonna have to like clip farm that and just get as much as I have out of that set because it looked great. I'm really proud of how I filmed it. So if you like what I do here, if you like that I play guitar and I go to these kinds of shows and stuff, and if you liked my camera work, my brother who films, he sent me a compliment and said, "You have good filming instincts. You know, it's well shot." So I'll get better. I'll get better. There was a few other bands I wanted to see. Bone Weapon. They're in the Angel Bar. They were kind of dumb, but I think that's like the point. It was kind of like caveman metal, basically. Very, very slow and heavy kind of stuff. But I think it was fine. It was fine. I got a clip. I just like the name. I like the name Bone Weapon. Really cool name. Bone Weaponry. The Crown was really good. I think they're like Swedish. Really tough mosh. Orancy Pazuzu. They were kind of like psychedelic. Kind of felt like Twin Peaks, you know? It was like a mix of Twin Peaks, a little bit of like a goth club. Then it went heavy, doomy. A lot of feedback, interesting sounds. I got beat up in like this mosh pit, like just was like dancing around, grooving, and then like people were just really. There was like a few people like they just loved to start shit. It was great. There was like a 90-pound, 4'11" girl in there that like she loved to start shit in that pit. Like she was just like yeah getting in there. Like it was nuts. It was nuts. So okay. Saturday. Okay, Saturday. This was a big deal because my friend Jason, he's the founder of Pissectomy. His younger brother, Jared from Gestation, was playing at Deathfest. So this was like a big deal. He's in a gore grind band. And I was beaten up from the Orancy Pazuzu show, from the long day before. There was, you know, but I had to make Gestation. That was the reason why I came to Deathfest. I wanted to see my friend's younger brother, who I'd never met, never talked with, who's living his dream. And it's like, dude, they're popping off. They're playing all these houses across the country. They bought a van. They're like playing Sega Genesis. He just plays power chords. Like, it was hysterical. Like, it's hysterical because of like, I know Jason's style. I know my style. And I had to go to Deathfest on one condition. I had to crowd dive at Gestation's concert. It was see a few bands, but really, because otherwise I wouldn't have experienced Deathfest. If I didn't mosh and crowd surf or crowd dive, then, you know, what's the point? What's the point? Are you even living? Dead Void was like doomy. They're pretty cool. Met up with Jared from Gestation. He's super chill, super cool. Got like monkey energy. He's like, yeah, man, you know, got like a trucker hat. You know, he's just super cool, super cool. I bought a shirt. It's a cool shirt. I'll have to like show stuff at some point. And I crowd dived. I got the full setup on YouTube. I sent them stuff. And he was like, yeah, man, you got to stick around for Mellow Marsher. They're like grind legends. And it was good. It was a really good show. They played like 30-second songs, and then they did like 5-minute comedy, and then Captain Insano. How much moshing? It was like 5 days of fighting like 1,000 people in 1 hour increments. It was a coin flip on the black metal and doom bands, whether they would actually have moshing. Like, okay, there were some people, they were like Banana Guy and like Dreadlocks Guy. He was always crowd diving. There was also Asian Guy with glasses that was also crowd surfing pretty much every show, all the time. Those security guys, I hope they got their money's worth, because like they were put to work like every show those guys were at. There was Banana Man and Dreadlocks Man or Asian Guy, or if all three of them were at the same venue, like their arms must have gotten tired. Like Monstrosity had a ton of moshing. Repulsion, moshing. Napalm Death, moshing. Cerebral Hemorrhage, crowd diving, moshing. Black Lung, nothing. Lair of the Minotaur, little bit. Bong Ripper, nothing, I don't think. Avernus, nothing. Cephalotripsy, crowd diving. November's Doom, I think, had moshing. Cephalotripsy, a lot of moshing, crowd diving. Harwake, maybe a little bit of moshing. Solitude of Eternus, I think it had a little bit of moshing. Putridity, I think moshing, crowd diving, because of soundstage. Bongzilla, I don't think it had moshing. I wasn't there that much. Torso Fuck, crowd diving, moshing. Till like 1 in the morning. Ford had hardcore dancing. Lomsk, nothing. Witch Vomit, I think it had moshing. I think Rotting Christ and God Dethroned had moshing. Old Man's Child might have. But I had a great video. So please check out the video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Compliment me. Or Ansi Pazuzu, I was in the mosh like the whole time, pretty much. Bone Weapon a little bit. Gestation, I was crowd diving. I was moshing. Mellow Marsher had some moshing. Crowd diving. Then I think I saw Whiplash a little bit. Poltergeist, that was a one-man black metal group, mostly one man. I could tell like his like costume. I could tell where he got some of the pieces from. He had kind of this like cobweb hood type of thing, and like I feel like I've seen that on like Temu and stuff. In some ways it's really cool that, like, you know, it's like one guy doing it. It was just kind of whatever, you know. It's cool that there's a solo guy who's screaming and playing, and he had kind of a cool stance in between songs, like he'd kind of punch over and wait for the next thing to happen. Okay, story time. So let me get a drink. Let me get a drink. We're getting into the Hell Butcher Pig Destroyer section. Okay? Yeah, I think that guy used a back. I mean, that, of course, that guy used a backing track. The solo guy. So we're on. Okay, so we're on. We're kind of in the middle of the day. It's raining. It's raining. It's kind of getting, you know. It's kind of rough at this point. And I was in the Nevermore Hall, and I saw that there was Hell Butcher merch, and so I wanted to get a shirt, you know. So I got a couple shirts. This is one. The Axis High tour, and I saw he was there. Hell Butcher was there. This is like the reason I came to Deathfest. I originally was just gonna go like a couple days, but then I bought pre-fest and all day in all venues. I found somebody that was selling everything, so I bought an extra ticket, and then I gave my ticket to my friend Steven. And he had an amazing time too. So Hell Butcher was there at the theater, and so I wanted to buy some shirts, and then I wanted to talk with Hell Butcher. But they're Swedish, and they only take cash. So I was like, crap. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll go to it. Is there an ATM? Oh, it's right over there. It's out of service. Crap. You can check the other venue. It's out of service. Check Lucky's Tavern. Out of service. Check 7-Eleven. Out of service. There's Bank America somewhere. I go up like some stairs, escalators. Can't find it. Big building. Walking through Marshalls now. No. No ATM. That sucks. So I walk out, and then I find a CVS. It's pretty far out. Also, Pig Destroyer is playing. They just started their set, the Prowler and the Yard set. And that was a have-to-see band. Pig Destroyer is a have-to-see band. They play Deathfest always, and, you know, it's just a completely killer pit. You know, people get bloody in there. And I'm missing Pig Destroyer. And then I didn't have the money for Hell Butcher stuff. Because I needed to get cash. And I didn't have enough cash, like just raw cash on me. So then I find CVS. I get some money. I run over to Nevermore Hall. Pig Destroyer's like kicking ass. And so Hell Butcher's not there anymore. I still buy the shirts. I buy some patches. I don't even have any patches on any vest. I know. I just got clean vests. I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. I didn't see Hell Butcher, so that's fine. I got the shirts, though. I don't even care if these shirts fit. It'll fit. And then went over to Pig Destroyer, got a couple clips, ran into the pit. Yeah, yeah, whew, yeah, come on, let's go, yeah. You know, get up. I'm like, yeah, I want to crowd dive at Pig Destroyer. And there's some dudes there, like, bloody. Their jaws are busted. Somebody had, like, a piercing in, like, his lip, and that got missing or something. I took a bunch of pictures of the carnage. Pushing people, you know. I like grab a couple guys, a couple big guys, and I'm like jumping up and down. I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. Come on, I want to crowd surf. And he's like, yeah, wait. We're gonna wait for the next song to drop. And I'm like, yeah, come on. You know, so I'm like going nuts. And then song starts, bam. Get flung over. Get a water bottle from security. They didn't always hand out water bottles, but that was nice. That was nice. Great set. Really, really intense sound. The Pig Destroyer. Then Macabre was playing. They're like murder metal. They cover songs. They write songs about serial killers. There's some old school. They've been around forever. Really funny. They got a guy that like dresses up in the costumes. They're like, this song's Ed Gein. The song is about this guy who stabbed somebody in a convenience center. Oh, this song's about a guy who would sneak in through people's windows. And you tell the story, and that would give enough time for the guy to like change costume. What was the guy? It was like the Unabomber. They did that song. I think that guy was like handing out packages to people and stuff. So then, yeah, I'm talking about Maryland Deathfest. So then, okay, I checked out a bit of Macabre. They're great. I wanted to get a good spot for Hell Butcher. This is the reason why I'm here. The whole reason. Here's the funny thing. Ted Kaczynski. Yes, that's the one. Here's the thing. I don't even know that many Hell Butcher songs. I know about Niflheim. I like Possessed by Evil. I like the first album. I like the single that Hell Butcher came out with. but it's inspired me so much. Dude, he's got like a skullet. He's like 50 years old. Old Man's Child was there, yes. They don't play very many shows, I hear. And they're back, and they were great. I got amazing footage. I don't know if you follow me. If you follow me, check out my videos. I also do have a playlist of Maryland Deathfest. And I shot a really, really good video of that from the ground floor. The only member of the band I didn't really get a great shot of was the drummer. But born and raised, one day you're gonna make it. Hey, go next year maybe. I think the next year's lineup is gonna be announced this Friday, I hear. It was such a good experience. I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge of like a lot of these bands. I had a few bands I wanted to see. I wanted to see my friend's younger brother play in Gestation. Made friends with him. Got to become fans of a bunch of new bands, and so I was waiting in the Nevermore Hall, and here comes Hellbutcher. Hellbutcher's just walking around before getting into costume, before sound check and stuff. And I was like, Hellbutcher, it's you. And he's like, hey, how's it going? You know, and started a conversation with him. I can't do a Swedish accent right now. But I was like, oh man, like you guys don't play a whole lot of American shows, right? He's like, yeah, well, you know, the visas are very difficult, but really glad. And I'm like, I came to Deathfest to see you. I wanted to see you, Hellbutcher. Like, you're most excited for. And he's like, well, I hope to see you in the front row. And I was like, I love Niflheim. He's like, yes, great. And I was like, I like the song Possessed by Evil. And he's like, yes, Possessed by Evil. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, can I take a picture, Hellbutcher? And he's like, yeah. And took a picture. And then I took a little video. I was like, hey, can we say Possessed by Evil? Yeah. Possessed by, you know, so I took that short little thing. I was super ecstatic. I got to meet Hellbutcher. And then I went in for a handshake. He was going in for the handshake. But 5-year-old me took over. Gave Hellbutcher a hug. Just whatever. Like, I love you, Hellbutcher. I'm so glad you're playing. You're inspiration to me. So he's black metal Santa Claus, man. Like, I love Hellbutcher. And the band was super cool. Like, I was talking with Necro, the guitar player. He plays like a Fender as well, you know, and I was asking him about that. He's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, like, I don't get this feeling very often where I'm just like, it's just that, like, childlike wonder, you know? It's like feeling like you're 5 years old. It's just like, I don't know. It was so, like, I only know a couple songs of his, but, like, doesn't that make you more of a fan? Like, doesn't that speak to how powerful music is? Even just one tune, just like, you know, really impacts you. You know, it's amazing what music can do. It's amazing. And he just gives it his all. And they're like old school, thrashy and black metal, and like they got the harmonies, and they're just like playing some Iron Maiden or something for sound check, and like they just sound great. And Hellbutcher doesn't go out for the sound check. And I got to meet him later. He was like drinking some beer outside Lucky's with Necro Metal. I was like, yeah, it's you guys again. I came up, took another picture with them. But I was talking, I was like, man, I loved your guys' set. It was so good. It was so good. It was like old school. It was real, you know. And I got a great footage of Hell Butcher. Like, I was screaming my head off, and, you know, Graham Nash when you were 11. Got to meet Hellhammer. Nice. You know. It was really cool. It was really cool to meet the band. Followed them on like Instagram and stuff, and you know, actually Hell Butcher followed me on Instagram, and so did Necro. That was really cool. I made Swedish friends. I made friends with Hell Butcher. And you know, so that was sick. That was sick. And then Hellhammer, the drummer, not the band. So anyway, I was like asking questions about like Hell Butcher's costume and stuff. I was like, I heard like you put together your costume yourself, and he's like, yeah, of course, I'm the only one who knows how to do it right. And you know, so that was like cool to hear. And they're just super nice, man. They were super nice. They were super class act. And fucking loved the set. It was amazing. It was emotional. It was emotional for me. It was everything. Like that old school metal and thrash and that kind of style with that intensity, and they all looked great. They all looked cool. They all were like posing and like, you know, playing, and like just the harmonies and just the variety of like the tunes just sounded great. And it's just unabashed, unapologetic, very fun black metal. And you know, it's just great. Like, gotta see that set. He's like, oh yes. Corpse Grinder gave him a Target gift card, and he was like, nice. It's like it's just funny. It's just funny. He's like, oh yes, we're gonna play one of the old ones here. It's Sting. It is. So yeah, that was the Hell Butcher experience. I got a couple shirts. I got a couple patches. And that pretty much changed my life, just watching him. So like everything else was just bonus at this point. There wasn't like any like other band I really needed to you know, see all of. Creator was good. I caught a little bit of that. I mean, they're big, they're solid, good lighting, good production, you know. Hava Krunu was interesting. Finnish symphonic black metal, I think. Somebody brought balloon swords to that gig, and it's good, dude. I made friends with Hell Butcher. I'm so happy about that. I just wanted to tell Hell Butcher he inspired me, because he did. He has. And like this whole thing, like what I'm doing here, and like part of it is, you know, because Hell Butcher exists. And so it just, you gotta hold the torch high. Gotta hold the torch high for, you know, kind of the old school, you know. And there's a fine line. There's a fine line to kind of walk, and Children of Bodom, the Boodum. Hava Krunu was pretty good. I was already tired and beaten up at this point, but they were cool. Good riffs. The main guy was like, he had like a cloak, corpse paint face, very good guitar player. I look like I play guitar for AC/DC. I didn't get to see the band Shitstorm. So I heard a lot of people were excited to meet 1914. Actually, you know what? Somebody was like, "Hey, you met Hell Butcher? Oh, wow. Sounds like, dude, that sounds like that guy was really nice." He was like, "Hey, I met the singer." He's like, "I'm a huge fan of 1914. Met the singer, and that guy was really mean." I was like, "Really, really?" I saw 1914, so they're like World War I themed. They're a band from Ukraine, and you know, so they're Ukrainian, and you know, there's a lot of opinions on Ukraine conflict, and better hear it from a Ukrainian band, though, you know. But hearing like that guy's interaction, like Swedish versus Ukraine, I can understand why the guy might. It's first off, it's their first U.S. show, and second, I'm not trying to like talk shit or anything, but the Eastern Europeans are kind of, sometimes they're cold, you know. They're cool, but you know, sometimes they can be cold, you know, in a personality, you know. Of course, I play guitar. Of course. Yeah, so 1914, they're Ukrainian Doom World War I theme. Like they're out in like the costumes and stuff. It was very well done. Not really like my style of what I would, you know, normally listen to or anything, but it was very powerfully performed. Those guys are giant, big meat men, you know, giant hair, and you know, the drummer was amazing, like just completely regimented and tight. Like they were totally locked in, and the singer, like he just had this presence where, you know, he wasn't even like counting, he was just sitting there, eyes closed, and then he'd come up and then like sing, and just you know. And he looked like, you know, he'd been attacked. You know, it'd been like I don't know, it was crazy. And then the encore, he went out into the pit, and then everybody circled around him. And I went into the pit and got a pretty cool footage of the singer in the pit. So that was pretty cool. That was a short little thing for the encore. Hang on, I think I hear something. Hey, puppy. Hey. It's the dog. It's the dog. It's the dog. That's my dog. Yeah, so that was pretty cool to see that band. That was their first US show. A lot of people were like super excited about seeing that band. I could sort of understand why maybe the singer or the front guy was like maybe not the most personable, you know. There's a lot of pressure to like play always try to avoid pits when I went to shows. They try to pull me in, and I felt like I was fighting for my life. It's interesting. Like my friend was telling me about this one lady who went to so many like Napalm Death shows, and she was an older lady, and then she went for Maryland Deathfest. I think she might have been from the UK or something. And like the first 10 seconds, she got like a boot in her chest. And she's like, what? This is a napalm death. What are you guys doing? Like, that was bad. And it's like, my friend was like, oh, it sounds like you went to your first napalm death show. Actually, this is the real show. And it's funny because it's like Deathfest. It makes me wonder, it's like, where did all these people come from? People all over the world. And it's like, how come they don't appear in normal life? Like, what's going on? How do they just come out of the woodwork? Like, where are they normally? And then also, like, shouldn't man, bands should just be a lot heavier. And then the crowd should just be that much more edgy and rough. You know, because it's fun. I don't know. It's very fun. So it's a crazy... Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Specifically Deathfest, for sure. I went to Meshuggah before the pandemic. Black Dahlia Murder opened for them. You know, and that was like pretty basic for them. But like, Meshuggah was pretty... That was legit. That was a legit, you know, pit. Crowd surfed a bit and, you know. So... It's fun. I just need to make sure I have like zippers on like my vest or sweatshirt. I can put my wallet, my phone and stuff. That's all I need. I did have like my camera bag and merch bag or whatever. You know, I just like tie it up and make sure it's snug. And then, yeah, so, okay, the last day, there was a few, this was kind of like hanging out. I missed Aisle 19, Caveman Cold, I saw a little bit, Hemorrhoid, Cancer, they're like old school, it was alright. Unmerciful Wrath Prayer, didn't really care about them. Death Angel. Now, one of my friends in Miami, Montoya from Moon Destroys, he was like, "You got to see Death Angel. They're gonna blow everybody else out of the water, man. They're old school thrash." And I went to the same spot I went to film for Old Man's Child. And got a really good, maybe even a better shot show for Death Angel. It was really good, really good. A lot of people are responding well to that video too. So I found the magic spot for the crowd. Nobody moshed me, nobody interrupted me, only had a couple hands kind of come in the way or whatever, but like, I don't know, nothing. I'm trying to make the videos somewhat dynamic. What do I think of Old Man's Child? So I don't know the whole history. I saw them live. This was a highly anticipated show. It was a perfect experience because it was raining. They looked cool, Norwegian and corpse paint, and it was cool sounding music. Good riffs. Frontman was so cool. And you know, I heard only one person left a comment, was like, well, you know, them and Dimmu Borgir, you know, they both suck for different reasons or something. I don't know. People are never happy. This was a very cool band. Definitely a highlight of like going to the festival, like just for cool, riffy, melodic kind of sound. Yeah. I mean, right when they were playing, and it looked so cool. It looked so cool. So, They're like, yes, we brought the rain. In Norway, it rains all the time, and looks like we brought the rain, you know? So they were funny. Like, the frontman was really cool. And just kind of, you know, it just, that kind of style I do like. Not the most technical or like most expressive kind of like soloing or anything, but it just very solid band. Like they're just a really solid band. So it was a very cool experience, and I'm happy I saw them. I think I'm a new fan now. I'm glad. There's always going to be somebody who will go, well, yeah, well, I liked them 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and they were way better then, and I experienced it way better than anybody else, and, you know, you guys are missing out on how I saw it with my own eyes that were 15 years ago. I don't know. Like, people, there's always people who are there first. Still playing in Demi Borgir. It was cool. Very cool. That was one I was surprised to hear a lot of people were super excited for. I mean, I heard a lot of people in the audience are like, I've been waiting for this a long time. Waiting for this show a long time, so. I mean, you could say that about a lot of bands, but like that band specifically, people were waiting a long time for. The rain wasn't a curse as much as it was like it blessed the show to look even cooler, you know. Death Angel was really good. Yeah, I'm glad I got to experience it. Checked out Woe a little bit. I don't know. Grave. All right, so Grave is old school. Very old school, rough mosh. And yeah, it helped filmed and broke up a altercation that was occurring. No punches were thrown, but you know, I took that video down. I'm probably not going to put it back up. Somebody did message me about he was like, hey, somebody took that video down. I was wondering if you could put it back up because it was a good memory for me. But then I took it down because the guy who started the fight, you know, he was embarrassed about it, and so, and I made friends with him, so I don't want to like, I don't know, man. Thing is, it's like there's a million videos like that thing, like, you know, people like arguing or getting into a little fight or something like that, or so it's a tough thing. But it's like, really, we should all be there for the music, you know. But sometimes alcohol gets the better of people, and they get a little out of control. So I think it was just a mistake somebody made, and you know, I tend to think, you know, people should be given a little bit of grace for trying to, you know. I mean, it's easy for people to go, oh no, I'm keeping that up there, you know, I'm keeping that up, you know, and like kind of like making an example out of people. Like there's no like redemption for like on social media or anything, you know. Yeah, one of the reasons why I no longer go to shows. I mean, yeah, I mean, it takes away from the experience, and you know, risk getting arrested or, you know, getting kicked out, and you spend all this money, and then, you know, a moment of weakness or whatever, you know. So it's, but the guy was cool. You know, I think rather than getting a boost for one of those, you know, videos, could have made money from views, but I kind of want to just make a friend, you know. I want to make a friend. Hey, it would have pushed me to my millionth view on like YouTube. or rather, it was just on like Instagram and Facebook. It ultimately comes down to, because it's like people are there for music, right? And it's expression. Music is an expression. Moshing is an expression. And, you know, people speak, that's also expression. And then it's funny that people getting into an argument somehow takes away the focus of the music and like the moshing and that kind of experience where, but it's relatable. People have been in that spot. And so I think, you know, people with clear minds, you know, they kind of, hey, you know what? I'll give him a chance. Give him a chance, you know. He's like, hey man, I'll get you a beer next fest. I'm like, I don't drink. He's like, well, I'll get you a grub. I'm waiting on a dinner next time. I'm gonna go to Taco Town. Now you want to see it? It's just whatever, man. It's just whatever. Just whatever. I was like, you know, I just like conflict and well, you know what? I wouldn't even say I'm a good dude. I'm not saying I'm good, or I'm not gonna make that claim. It's just it's funny because, you know, it's because I told the guy, I was like, you know, personally I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know who started it. I don't know. I don't have the context. I mean, I assume maybe he started it. I mean, he was he's like, come on, punch me, man. F you, you know, come on. And he was like, yeah, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. I just don't want it up there. I got at least that. You know, hearing that, it's like, it was kind of funny. But, you know. The guy who broke up the fight wants the video, too. I didn't respond yet. I didn't respond. But it's one of those things, you know, you give it to somebody and then it's like, you know, they get to relive being a hero. But are they going to post it? You know, are they going to try to engagement bait, you know, kind of thing? That kind of betrays, you know, the guy that kind of wanted that to kind of be taken away, you know. Do we have to have everything on the internet? Do we need everything on the internet? Do we need to show everyone's dirty laundry, you know? I don't know. I don't think so. So just kind of interesting. Just kind of interesting. Somebody was like, it's funny, the comments too. Like the comments before I took it down. Because they were like, yeah, F that guy. But then they were like, F the kid. They're like, look at his patches. His patches are new. They look like he bought them online. Almost like he's not legit, like he didn't legitimately get them or something. Like, that's a thing, you know? And, it's like your patches are new. Isn't that amazing? People will project anything. Like, it was kind of evenly split. I even got a little bit of heat. They're like, are you the mosh police? I was like, no, I'm World Star. Yeah. It's World Star, man. Yeah. It's, you know, it's between two men. It was a decision made between two men there. I think that's about the extent of it, you know. Hey, you mind taking that down? I feel a little embarrassed about that. Sure thing, not a problem. It was popping off. I mean, he wasn't like a young kid, but you know, it was like, I don't know. It was the battle of the battle vests. That's what people were saying too. Is like, oh man, my battle vest is cooler than yours. People were saying a lot of funny stuff though. I only just said I just love a good dust up. You ever get pushed into somebody in a crowd and then that person you were pushed into cusses you out? Yes. Actually at the Batushka concert. Batushka was really cool. They're oh wait, let me get to the end. So Sarcophago, they're like Brazilian. And Oceans was kind of interesting. Dying Fetus was great. Holy crap. Holy crap, Dying Fetus was really good. Oh my goodness. Complete professionals. Completely insane. Amazing. That was a rough pit. I didn't go in the pit for that one. But, oh my gosh, that was great. And then, Katushka. Yeah, there was, like, so I was, like, filming a concert, and then, like, I'm getting pushed by the entire crowd, and I'm, like, resisting. I'm like, no! And then somebody was like, hey, take it easy. I'm like, you guys take it easy. It's amazing. It's amazing. So Batushka, this was a hard one to film. One, because Dying Fetus was amazing and I didn't have enough time to get to the front rail of the Nevermore Hall, formerly Ram's Head. So it was the last show of the whole festival. And then the other thing, there was the question: is there gonna be moshing? Because it's a doom band, and it's kind of a coin flip, but it's the last show. People are wanting to get all of their moshing out, and then also just being tired. Yeah, so Batushka had a legal dispute, and then it became Patriarch. But then this is the real Batushka part, like the legit part that like won the dispute or something like that. And because I guess like Patriarch wanted to release an album beforehand, they just kind of rushed something out. And then this one, and then somebody said, oh, both of those bands, no, they're like a shell of what they formerly were. They're not as good, you know. I didn't get the real Batushka, I guess. I don't know. They were cool, you know, Orthodox themed. They're in the cloaks, you know. I noticed they had glow in the dark tape on the back of their guitar necks, which makes sense because they have like the black visors or the black mesh in front, and so they can see where they should be on the fretboard and stuff. So like that was clever. That was clever. I could see stuff they were doing. And then it was a long show. Yeah, there's a lot of weed smell. There was various smells for sure. You know, didn't bother me too much, but I don't like a weed smell. I don't like. Guitarist and Behemoth does that on his guitars too. It's smart. It's smart. So this was a tough show because, well, and also people were talking, you know, like a lot of phones in the air. So I had to like, I had some big guys behind me. One guy was like, "Hey, you gonna post this on YouTube?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "I'll block the moshing." And then he's like, "This guy will block the moshing too." And it was another big guy. He's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "That was really funny of you to volunteer that guy to block for me. Nobody has ever helped anybody at Deathfest." It's like, nobody's volunteering this help. Come on. Like, nobody's budging an inch for me. The big guy said, who said he wanted help, he was like, "Hey, would you mind just turning the brightness down on your phone? I'd appreciate that." And I was like, "Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I can do that." Turn the brightness down. Then a second later, I looked back and I was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to help me." Apparently, there was one juggalo that like walked in, raised the horns, and then walked out. So he asked me to turn my brightness down, and then I was like, "Yeah, of course, I'll do that." Then I turned around and I was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to guard me during the show because I did this for you." And he's like, "Maybe I'll help just a little bit." He wasn't it was funny. It was funny, like, you know, it's sort of like, it wasn't like I took anything personally. I like a little bit of banter. Some people are actually just dicks. Like, these guys were funny. They had a humor about them. There was a lightness, a playfulness to their, like, dickishness, you know, if that makes sense, you know? You know, when you can just kind of tell. It was like, "Oh, yeah, of course, you know, I'll turn the brightness down. But, you're gonna have to do me a favor. You're gonna have to block me. Those guys get rough back there. I'll help just a little bit." And actually, they were very helpful. They were very helpful. Like, they stood frame. I got pushed into the little ramp next to the rail. None of your beeswax. How am I doing? I'm doing very good. I'm very good. Just wrapping up my Maryland Deathfest experience. Talking about all the shows. Just roasting each other. Yeah, just light roasting. Playful, you know. The other problem I had before the show, my gimbal. So, this is the gimbal. It's like a selfie stick. It's like a robotic arm. And, you know, so it's a stabilizer. And the thing is, you put your phone on. I'm not from Maryland. You put your phone on, and you can press buttons and like turn the camera, stuff like that. You can hold it in position and stuff like that. And you know, so I want to just keep it in landscape and then just angle it properly. And then if I get like pushed, maybe press the trigger, and that keeps it balanced, you know, relatively. I'm starting to run out of battery, but the problem is this part gets really hot sometimes because I've been using it on and off. And once it gets too hot, then it starts going haywire. This thing comes off. I took it off, I turned it off. It kept messing up, and it was like starting to get close to showtime for Batushka. I'm like, it's the last show. I wanna I want to film this one because my friend Steven really wanted to see Batushka. And he was from front. He had got a great shot. He was in the recap. He was just vibing to the music and stuff. And, you know, so it was starting to, like, act up. And I was like, oh no. I'm going to get a terrible shot for the show. It's just not going to work. It's going to, like, it's going to collapse. And then, like, it's just not going to work. And I won't be able to fix it. And I'm going to get moshed. I'm just fighting uphill. I got the big guys that aren't going to help me, too. No, I'm just kidding. But, so anyway, I let it rest for, like, 5 minutes. They're done with sound check. I'm like, okay. I attach it. Feet are hurting. It's working. It's not hot. It's not as hot anymore. I'm like, good. Let's just hope it lasts an hour. That's all I need. The show lasted like an hour and a half or something. Like, it was just really long. And it was a long, long show. They played like an encore or something, and I was getting pushed around. It was a little hard to, like, aim around the people. I tried not to get, like, security in the footage. They're also they're a unique band, so, like, making the camera movements, like, fun. Because I'm trying to do something a little bit artistic on the fly. It's hard to shoot. Hard to shoot the band, you know. But I survived. Then I got crowd surfed. And I was doing pretty good at dodging and getting out of the way. But one of the times around the hour mark, and you'll see this on the footage if you watch the whole thing or whatever. You don't have to watch the whole thing. It knocked the magnet off. So this part came off. And then my phone fell on the ground. Because the entire right side of, like, the crowd, like, fell out of form. And, like, suddenly they just all moved. And everybody got pushed one way really fast. Kind of like a riptide. And my phone got knocked off. And then a girl picked it up. Is this your phone? Right away. And I immediately looked at the recording sign to see if it hit the recording button. And if it stopped. Because I wanted one continuous shot. It's still recording. That was good. Then the next problem happened. I dropped my battery. My battery packs. The Anchor batteries. And so that fell off. That fell out of my bag. And I was borrowing a cable from my friend Steven. That fell on the ground. I didn't want the cable stepped on. Or it, like, getting broke somehow. Even though they're pretty durable. I'm like, short Latino dude was like waving his stupid arms, like in front of the camera and, like, kind of like almost hitting the camera and stuff. So I raised my arm to kind of like parry his arm. It's fine. I'm just rocking out. I'm just pretending to rock out. Really, I'm trying to, like, keep my shot, keep, you know, hold this while parrying his stupid arms. Come WrestleMania, I'm gonna root for you. And then I'm getting pushed. But then he's kind of pushing into me. And I'm trying to hold frame because I have my battery that just fell in between my legs. Everyone's packed like sardines. And then, so I'm like parrying his stupid arms. I'm holding my camera. Battery fell on the floor. I'm holding frame. People are moshing. People are crowd surfing. I'm trying to block and dodge. And then this guy's like, hey, bro, you have to stop pushing into me. I'm telling you, you got to stop pushing into me. I'm like, I'm not pushing into you. My battery's down there. He's not listening. He's like machismo, short man syndrome. Like, man, you freaking idiot, dude. And then, so he's like starting to get upset with me. I'm like, I gotta get my battery. So then I just like look around. There's a little bit of a lull in the action. And I'm just like, I gotta pick up the thing now. Pick it up. Put it in my bag. They're holding it. I'm like, I got it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. And he like half understands, half whatever. And I step away from him because I'm just like, I'm just not going to deal with that idiot anymore. His stupid arms flying in my way. I'm just gonna kind of. I'm getting okay shots of Batushka, you know. So it was a tough show to film. Really cool finale. You know, really cool experience. Yes, Yasmin. Highly recommend Deathfest. I'm probably gonna go again. I gotta become a lot more famous on YouTube. I gotta earn a lot more money. Like we got some stuff we gotta fund for Crimson Decree. We got, you know, you know, we gotta do more streaming. We gotta keep at it. I'm gonna end the stream now. I will be back a little later. But I wanted to do a little bit of playing, a little bit of a recap. I'm still kind of recovering from the event. I got a little bit of gunk, you know. The last day I was starting to feel a little scratchy throat and, you know, I was sniffly yesterday. I took antihistamine and kind of dried up. It's just now like a little bit of a gunk, you know. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed. I'll post more clips. The channel has been growing, YouTube specifically, really well. Very close to 1 million views on YouTube. That's a really cool milestone. Apparently you get a wife at 25 million. No, but yeah, there'll be more shorts. I feel good. I will be on another time. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye.